Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back. So we're taking a look at a kit that I'm really excited for because I really enjoy this line quite a bit. This is the Figure-rise LABO line, and the latest release here is Asuka Langley, of course, from Evangelion. This is kind of the first in the line, the first time there's been a character that's a character that I'm actually really interested in, that I really like. I've enjoyed all the lines so far, but for the most part, the characters are just kind of like not really characters that I'm really all that particularly interested in myself. I just like the kit. This one I'm a big Evangelion fan, so I'm really looking forward to this one. Asuka, I'm not sure I would say is like my favorite character from the series or anything, but I do really love the series, so I'm looking forward to this. This will be cool. Hopefully in the near future though, like in the next Labo release, that it'll be going back to another Gundam character or something, fingers crossed. But anyway, at least for today, let's go ahead and check out Asuka here. So on the front of the box here, we just have a photograph of the kit, and that is the actual kit just photographed. Always, I believe always for these releases, for the images you see on the box is actually just the figure straight out of the box without any painting. So exactly what you see on here is exactly what you're going to get, which is very cool. So it is actually going to look that good just straight out the box. Figure-rise LABO logo there, layered injection. So the layered injection is what you're going to have for some of these parts, the eyes and the face as well too, but like these parts here is like the special parts for this one, which look really cool. So we'll take a look at those once we get the box popped open. Here on the side you can see just kind of front and back view of that. You have this base included there as well, which is pretty simple, but that looks pretty nice. There at the bottom you can see a layout of all the parts there. So there's going to be quite a number of parts in different colors and things that are used for this. On the other side here, just a little memo about like what the Figure-rise LABO line is all about. It says a project to develop plastic model molding technology and research previously impossible expressions to create and evolve figures and plastic model kits from the past and to make them come true. Anyway, so yeah, it's kind of melding the world of model kits and figures, which is what I really like about this, because figures are always nice. They look nice, but I enjoy building them myself, so it's great. So here you go. Figure-rise LABO line is just talking about the transparent and tight-fitting feel has been recreated with insert molding there for those parts, which again look pretty nice. And then for the eyes and face down there as well too, you'll have multiple colors injected for those. And on the ends of the box there, you just got a close-up of Asuka's face, and on the back side of the box you got the Nerve logo there. Very cool. And even some printing here on like the inside of the inner box, or the size of the inner box there. Anyway, so there's those parts. We'll go ahead and look at all the runners here in a moment. Let's first just take a look at the manual here. So it's just going to be in color, folding down. There's your parts list, and then you start on the construction of that. I believe it's only, well, it's color on the back as well too, but it's not like full color. So we got full color, let's see, here on the front, going through the construction to there, and then on the back side it's just monochrome, just to finish up the construction and all of that. So first off, it looks like we will have a few stickers there, and it looks probably like these are going to be going for like these striping bits there on the red parts, and those green bits may be going to like wrap around these parts up there or something, for example, or there on the wrist or something. Anyway, here is the A runner, and it's pretty incredible. So you got the multi-injection of the skin tone, and then with the clear orange on top of that, and then you have some of this yellow going in there for like the kind of bra piece up inside of there. Just want to give you guys a nice close-up look on that, because it's pretty incredible, the molding on this. So that's going to look really nice once this is all put together. And then here is the B runner, just our single piece there for the face, but again you got the brown and black and white also injected into the skin tone there, so that's looking really cool. And then the C runner is our eyes. There you go, parts for the eyes there. So you got the clear blue, white, and black all molded together for the eyes there. And runner D, a big 4-color runner here. You got the clear blue for the base, the main red color there, some green parts there for the green accents, and then a couple of little like bluish gray parts down there for like the microphone there in front of her face. Runner E is going to be all the rest of our red parts, which is a very high gloss red, just slightly different from what we saw on the D runner. It's not quite as glossy, it's much more glossy here on the E runner, it looks like. Runner F, obviously going to be all of our hair parts in this kind of reddish, brownish, kind of orangish brown kind of color there. Runner G in the skin tone is going to be basically part for the neck and the interior of the body, sort of like the inner frame basically. And lastly, runner G2 is going to be in dark gray for some of the detail parts around like the parts on her wrists and on her head and the bottom of her feet, and this part for the test, which is going to be inlaid in the backpack, which will be really nice. Alright guys, so there it is, all the parts. Very impressive, I gotta say. Very much looking forward to building this. These kits are always really interesting to put together just because of the molding and like the technology that goes into them is amazing that Bandai does. So let me go ahead and get her all put together and we'll see how she looks. Alright guys, so here she is all built up, and it's a beautiful model, no doubt about that. A couple things you'll notice right off the bat. For now, I've not put any of the stickers on. I want to show you guys what this looks like without the stickers, and I'm just going to assume that the stickers don't really look that great. The yellow striping stickers may be passable, but the rest of them either not really needed or just not really going to look all that good, so just minus the stickers. Here's what it looks like. Also, you'll notice that some of the parts have already been sanded. I did already go ahead and sand a lot of the mold lines around on the kit just because I am planning on painting it. So I just did that while I was cleaning up the kits, just cleaning up the dump marks and everything. I went ahead and just sanded a lot of the mold lines as well too. So you'll see like a lot of the red that is high gloss, like on the arms and the legs. You'll see some parts of that is not glossy because it's already been a little bit sanded. So just keep in mind those parts are totally glossy and very high gloss, as you guys saw while we were going through just the runners. But if you are planning on painting the kit, of course there's mold lines there that you'll have to sand ahead of time. But let's go ahead and take a closer look here. And so the first thing that I'll just talk about in regards to the eye tracking technology that's advertised on the outside of the box is talks about the way that the eyes are molded. The pupils are set in there so that it looks like when you move the kid around to look at it from different angles that her eyes will follow you, that it kind of appears that she's always looking back at you. I will say it works from a couple different angles that it kind of looks convincing like she's looking at you, but honestly not that much. It's an interesting idea for Bandai to try to do that. I don't think that it was very successful in this case. I think they still need to work on that technology a little bit. As for the layered parts of the clear orange over the skin tone parts, those look really nice. The shadows on there, everything looks really good. Now I've seen that you can separate those by basically pulling apart the clear parts off the skin tone and then basically just have this all in skin tone here. I don't plan on doing that with mine, and my concern would be that once you separate those apart, then you probably wouldn't be able to get them to go back together very well because they're kind of molded together, and to get that perfect tight fit between the two of them, I think it'd be really hard to put them back together. So I won't be trying that with mine, but I think they look really good as they are, so those parts all look really nice. And then you have just really nice molding all around, just with all the little green parts in there, look really nice just for added detail. The microphone here, this can actually be moved. That's the only part that actually moves on this kit. I don't think that's necessarily supposed to, but you can move that a little bit side to side. In my honest opinion, the skin tone on this seems a little bit too pale, so you're definitely going to want to do at least some highlighting or at least some shading on this. And that's probably what I'll end up doing. I probably won't paint the skin entirely. I'll just paint some shading on it for the most part. Then you have some really nice detail here with like these little tiny parts on there and like these little tiny green parts and these parts up here on the top of the head and very thin. These dark color, like that dark gray parts, those are all in a little bit softer type plastic, so you can work with those parts pretty easily without worried about breaking them. There for under the microphone. And also the parts down here on the feet, those gray parts are also in that softer type plastic. And while we're here on the base too, it's really cool that you have the text, which is kind of hard to read from the top, but it's Evangelion 2.0, you cannot advance. It's molded on the bottom though, so it's kind of hard to see through the top unless you have something white underneath the kit, then you can really see that. If you have this just up on like a dark color shelf or something like that, you're not really going to be able to see that text, unfortunately. So it's kind of weird that they molded that on the inside, so you'd have to do some sort of painting in order to really be able to see that well. And as for the hair, it all looks pretty nice. All of the seam lines between the different parts of the hair seem to be hidden pretty well as just looking like just separations of hair pretty naturally. So I think Bandai did a really good job of molding that. There are mold lines around on there as well too. I've gone ahead and sanded a lot of them. If you really want to get super into it, you'll be sanding mold lines on some of these in between some of these parts. It just kind of gets really difficult to do, but you can go crazy getting rid of all the mold lines on that, but I think you probably don't need to do it too well. The molding of the hair kind of around the hands and just the hand molding, everything looks really nice. So just all of the sculpt on this is a really nice sculpt. I think Bandai did a really good job. And the eyes do look nice, even though the eye tracking technology I feel like doesn't really succeed all that well. The eyes do still look really nice there, and that they got that nice gloss to them with that clear blue and everything. It does look really good. And then here she is compared with the Figure-rise LABO Miku kit. So you can see Miku's a little bit smaller. She was definitely one of the smaller ones in this line. The Fumina kit was also about the same size as Asuka here, and they seem to be kind of about 1/6 scale, I want to say. Whereas Miku, for example, seems closer to like 1/7 scale. Just to give you a more exact number on the height, Asuka seems to be about 24 centimeters tall up to the top of her head there. But anyway, there you have it, guys. I think it's a really nice kit. Obviously, a lot of people's concern with this is just going to be the price. At around $70, it is going to be pretty expensive, especially when you think like for that price, you could buy 2 or 3 pretty nice, just like PVC figures, so, you know, like statues from either like a prize grabber machine or something like that. Especially if you get them like secondhand from Japan or something, you can get them for pretty cheap. And well, I think that's definitely true. And the good point about those two is that they're already fully pre-painted and everything and pretty nicely detailed and all that. I mean, they look great, especially just as they are. That's the whole point of those. The one thing with this is just the fact that it's a kit that you actually get to build yourself, and for me, I much more enjoy building something rather than just like taking something out of the box and throwing it up on the shelf. I would rather have the experience and have the fun of building it. So I kind of look at it in the way of like that you're paying for the time that you get to spend, you know, enjoying doing something that you enjoy. So for that, for me, it's worth it because I enjoy the modeling aspect of it, but it just depends on what you want. If you just want a nice figure of Asuka to go up on your shelf, then there's obviously cheaper options out there for you. But this one I think is going to be a lot of fun to work with, to paint up, so I'm looking forward to starting work on that. Like I said, I've already got a lot of the sanding already all done on like a lot of the mold lines, just need to do a little bit more sanding on some more parts, and then I can get right down to painting on it. So I'll be working on that in the near future. You guys will see that. I'll show you guys how that comes out once that's all done. But for now, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have any other further questions about this particular kit, feel free to let me know down in the comment section below. But of course, you can check this out at USA Gundam Store. The link will be down in the video description below, as well as my coupon code there for you guys to save 10% off. So definitely use that, save yourself a little bit of money on this kit or anything else there on the website. Thanks so much for watching today, guys, and until next time, I hope you're all having a great day. I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.